My name is Kush Wilson and you're locked into Eightseven.co.
So for those who may not be familiar with your work or familiar with your spoken word,
Yes.
how would you describe yourself and your artistry, I guess?
A very passionate person who likes to tell stories and pull from my own experiences and friends' experience and everything else that goes on around me.
So what's your background beyond the spoken word?
So, grew up in South London, lived in South London my whole life.
Jeez, what part of South London?
I grew up in Stockwell.
Okay.
Moved to Croydon. Now I live in Norwood.
Okay, cool.
Just a regular guy, played sports, football.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
I started writing kind of late for what people would say the time I started writing.
Where did you start?
I started when I was 22.
How old are you now?
25.
Yeah, I see how people say late. I mean, it's perception though, isn't it, with these sort of situations. People are like, oh, if you don't start like 15, 16, you're late to the game. But then you've been able to sort of build yourself up.
Yeah.
So, and I guess the thing is, when you would have started at 22, you would have more life experience.
I have more life experience, but I don't have a writing style. So,
explain.
So there's this thing that people say, finding your style, finding your voice.
Yeah.
So it's the way you write about things, the way how you project yourself and come across. So even though I have life experience to talk about, it's the way that I present it which I find slightly difficult.
But why do you find it difficult?
A lot of people conform to how other people sound and present things, and it's natural to do that because of the way how things go and that's what's popular, that's what's working.
Yeah.
And even though everyone says, oh yeah, be yourself, be an individual, it's harder than what it seems.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have difficulty accepting themselves. So I've undergone a process of accepting myself, but sometimes the way it comes across in my work, I have had comments before, oh, you sound like X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, but that's not my intention. Yeah. I'm like, but you do. And then I've had to go back and review and maybe re-listen to what they've done about 3 months down the line, then look at what I did 3 months. And I'm like, okay, I see it. Yeah. But I'm not there anymore, so it doesn't matter as much.
Okay, cool, I respect that. And appreciate your honesty on that. Regardless though, you've been able to sort of build yourself as a spoken word artist. You won Subjectivity, I think last year, if I'm correct?
Early this year.
Earlier this year, yeah. And I'm assuming you've done multiple other shows and stuff like that. So how have you been able to navigate London, like shows and get bookings and stuff like that?
It's difficult. At the beginning, every single open mic there was, I literally put up like, hey, I want to perform. And loads of people were like, no, we haven't got space, you have to pre-book it, you have to email us.
Oh, wow. And they'd have their preferences on who they want, of course.
100%. Then as time went on, they just saw my face more and more. And then slowly, very slowly, people began to put me on to certain events and I went to perform. And that's the way I slowly built up my name. And I ended up meeting Lionheart, the one who runs Subjectivity. And I managed to build a great relationship with him. That's how I managed to meet the collective, which I'm part of, which is 6 weeks. And I've met various amazing people through doing it. Literally, but I've literally just had to take myself out of my comfort zone and just run around here, there and everywhere.
That's the key though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's difficult and it's tiring, but definitely worth it.
Cool. What inspired you to become a poet or a spoken word artist? Because you said you started writing late, so what was the plan before 22 and then from 22 onwards?
So I have a bad habit of finding a passion or hobby, going for it for about 6 months, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this anymore. And I've done it throughout my whole life. Yeah. So coming towards the end of uni, I was baking cakes, selling cupcakes. I was like, yeah, this is working. And then one day I was like, nah, I'm not doing it anymore. Literally, I just woke up and I'm not doing it anymore. And then I think one day I went away with friends and someone had called me from London while I was abroad, and what they told me annoyed me, and I just started writing out of frustration. Because I just needed to vent, and at the time I probably would have lashed out at friends if I didn't actually write. And then when I read it back to myself, I was like, hey, this is all right.
Yeah.
And then I showed it to someone else, and he's like, no, you should go and perform. You should do poetry, spoken word. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And we went to an event, and he signed me up. I didn't know. So literally, I had just gone to watch, and that was it. And he signed me up for it, and I was like, okay.
That is cheeky. That's a good mate though, but that's cheeky.
Yeah, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here where I am now. I probably would still maybe write once in a while, but like, it's not worth performing.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for him.
Shout out to that mate, man. Shout out to the mate. Cool. How have you developed since you started?
So I've changed the way that I write massively. I used to write in a very complex manner, where most of the things I say would go completely over people's heads. And after I've broken down what it means for like 2 minutes, then people are like, oh, so I ain't just say that then. I'm like, well, because I said it like this.
Yeah.
And like, but we only understand once you've explained it. So as time's gone on, I've learned how to edit and refine my work a lot and make it very clear what I'm trying to express.
What easier to digest and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
How have you managed to maintain your style whilst changing the complexity of what you're saying?
I think because I keep an element of complexity in there.
Yeah.
That's where it is. And as much as I don't want it to be in your face, I still want someone to be like, oh, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Cool.
That's where and how I do it.
Okay, cool. That's good. When you're on stage or when you're performing, what's your main aim?
For everyone to feel something. You don't have to feel what I'm feeling, but it feels something that can resonate with you. Okay. And whatever I'm saying will ring true to you in your own personal way.
Yeah.
Because realistically, my feelings are not your feelings.
Of course, yeah.
So whatever you feel like that for a reason.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm trying to not like be complex now.
No, but I hear what you're saying. Like you want everyone's gonna react to something in their own separate way. But as long as there's a reaction, then you've done what you've wanted to do, and they've received what they need to receive from your work.
Yeah.
So, I hear you.
And also, people don't like to express themselves and be honest.
Yeah. So,
what I found is that when I've been honest with myself and just honest on stage, people are like, oh yeah, I felt like that too. I'm happy that someone else could express it because I don't feel comfortable saying it.
Yeah.
So, if I don't want to make myself seem like a voice of the people type thing.
No,
I don't agree with any of that at all. But if people can find a form of expression through me in some way, then that leaves me content. On
your SoundCloud, you did a poem, a response to Adele's Hello. What inspired that?
So her chorus, was it hello from the other side, something. And it just made me think about just another perspective of the person who didn't pick up the phone, basically. Yeah. And eventually got round to calling it, and everything they feel, calling back and just saying how they felt. Because a lot of people, again, they hide behind their feelings and
of course.
their egos.
So in your poetry, are there any topics you go, maybe not this one, or maybe that's controversial? Are you just open to, or maybe just like all?
I don't write about specific topics in terms of like, okay, today I'm going to write about this.
Yeah.
I literally, if I'm writing with music in the background just to get my mind running, I will write with how the music makes me feel. Or sometimes I might be just writing anything, not necessarily a poem or a song or anything, just writing for the sake of writing. And I might write a specific line that will trigger me, and I'm like, okay, I'm writing about that. Yeah. But I don't actively say, okay, I'm going to write about this or write about specific topics.
So it leaves you open to sort of discussing anything possible.
100%, yeah.
And on the whole, your poetry, like listening to it, it's quite, I say it's different because of how you use the music in the background. Do you know what I mean? Like your music's quite like poets will use music and they'll use it like or a soft tune but you've used like some serious beats. I've been battling some of these beats. I'm just like, geez, like I think you're one of your type. Ego.
Oh yeah.
That one had me going, ooh. I was like, ooh. I was like, cool. So.
Yeah, egos.
What inspired Ego? Except from the obvious.
So I was just. Do you know what it was? I went to a session with someone I've never been before, and he said, "Oh, let's have a jam session." I was like, deep down, I wanted him to produce. That's all I wanted to do. But then I was like, okay, let's run with it. And he came up with an hour-long piece.
Oh wow!
And I was just putting various poems that I'd written over it. Yeah. And then there was a bit when I started speaking about egos as that part of the beat kicked in.
Oh, fair.
And then I think.
So it was pretty much a freestyle.
And then I think what I did afterwards was take it away and just loop it and actually wrote to it based on what I said about egos.
Oh wow.
That's what happened. But literally that was pure luck. Literally. I just started speaking about egos as the beat changed.
Kicked in.
Yeah.
For those who don't know spoken word that much, or it's not, obviously because spoken word's not mainstream, like rap is and pop is and whatever, what's the difference between a rapper and a poet from your perspective?
Usually I'm that cliche, I'm like rap is poetry, blah blah blah. But
because someone would tell you it's not, so that's what I'm asking, like from the perspective, how would you define it?
Rhythm. So if your words follow a specific rhythmic pattern, then you're a rapper.
Yeah.
If they don't, I would say you're more of a poet, spoken word artist, because you're reciting. Yeah.
Cool. Are there any similarities in the barriers that you faced as a spoken word artist that can be related to a musician?
People not taking you seriously because you're not big.
That's a big one.
So whether you're a poet, spoken word artist, however you want to label it, or a musician, if you're not big and people don't see a potential in you, or they don't see other people potentially talking about you or seeing your vision, people are not interested.
Yeah.
And you have to go out and win people's hearts.
Yeah.
Consistency as well. Just like a musician, you have to be consistent in what you're releasing if you want to build a fan base.
Yeah.
If you're just doing it for the fun of it, then release what you want, when you want, how you want. But if you want to make a living off it, you need to be consistent.
Yeah. So in terms of critics, how have you been able to manage that perspective?
So at the beginning, I was very negative towards critics. You can't tell me anything. You don't know how long it's taken me to write. Or this took me to write. You don't know the process. But as time gone on, I was like, you know what? They were true. They were correct. So I've learned to embrace it and not be as egotistical.
2018. What's the plans?
So I am moving into the realm of releasing more rap-based music.
Okay.
Alongside spoken word stuff.
Okay.
It's just what I've been working on for like the past 3-4 months and just practicing every day.
Yeah. So you've been building up for this, to be able to release more often. Okay, cool.
So I've got like, I think 7 or 8 songs just sitting there ready. But I'm still just going over like, okay, that bit's not ready, this bit's not ready. Because it's been quite difficult moving into rap. Because I think I remember once I said in one of my poems, I think I'm scared of whether I should be a poet or a rapper or if I should rap these poems or something like that. And I think one day I woke up and I said, you know what, I think I'm going to try and rap. And it's been a long journey, but I'm proud of how far I've come in such a short period of time. And I'm going to write poems.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. So I think around February, March, hopefully, I should be releasing something.
Cool. As a final question, and it's one I ask once in a while. If you were to leave this earth tomorrow,
leave the earth tomorrow,
how would you like to be remembered?
Compassionate person who cared and listened.
Compassionate person who cared and listened.
Yeah. A lot of people are sympathetic but not empathetic.
Yes, that is very true.
And empathy needs to be practiced a lot.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are hurting generally, and nobody cares because
it's not affecting them.
Yeah, it's not affecting them. And it's easy to be like, oh, they're there, are you okay?
Even though you're on the back and you're thinking, thank God that's not you. Yeah.